What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fight IQ. It is the week. It is UFC fight week for UFC 315. JDM versus Belal Muhammad. That's me pointing back to the sign. This one's got a big fight feel, guys. The welterweight title is on it's up for grabs for the first time since Leon Edwards fought Belal for it. If that's any indication of how shit Belal Muhammad is, no, I want to preference and just say really quick, I'm not going to attack Belal Muhammad this whole video because I don't mind Belal, right? I think he's just, where have you been? Why has this belt not been on the line? This is the battle of the noses. Who's got the worst nose? But we'll come full circle back to this because you know Fight IQ, guys. We start from the bottom, we work our way up. So we got a lot of good fights to go through here, guys. There's a lot of sleeper good fights, but kicking us off is Bragdona versus Bekzat Almakhan. It's Bekzat Almakhan versus Bragdona, okay? And I think Bekzat Almakhan's going to get this one done, alright? Yeah, Bragdona, bit of the crafty vet. We know Bragdona's been around for a while. You know, if you check his fights record, he's been around for a while. Fairly certain he won a series of tough. I'm pretty certain that was Bragdona. But Bekzat Almakhan, first fight in the UFC against Aiemann Zahabi, okay? If you don't know who that is, that's that's your problem. I don't know where I was going with that. But Bekzat Almakhan, alright? Lost to a close fight, I'm pretty sure, against Aiemann Zahabi. I still think Bekzat's got a long way to go in his career, but I think Bragdona might be at the end of his. You know, Bragdona's a bit of a fighter. You know, he's been around. All right, he's been around. He's fought the fights. He's got some good wins, but he's also, he's had some pretty rough ones as well. He, lost to Marab way back when, like first fight in the UFC stuff. But I think Bekzat Almakhan is probably just gonna, out ticker him. Probably catch him early, if anything. Probably knock Bragdona out. All right. Yeah, I know we don't see too many knockouts down at bantamweight, but I could honestly see Bekzat Almakhan landing a big gritty grappler's step back overhand and just catch the chin. Oh. So I'm going to go with Bekzat Almakhan on this one, guys. Not going to dwell on it too much because we've got a lot of fights to get to. It's Kazakhstan versus Canada. Up next, Daniel Santos versus Jiang Yong Lee. Sorry. Jiang Yong Lee versus Daniel Santos. This is actually a really good fight. This is a change in this fight. I'm not too sure who was actually fighting Jiang Yong Lee before Daniel Santos, but it was a different fighter. It was a different fighter. Now Daniel Santos has stepped up on short notice, or like a week's notice or something, to fight Jiang Yong Lee. Okay. Jiang Yong Lee, he's coming off a loss. He's got 3 fights in UFC. 2 wins, 1 loss. And Daniel Santos he's coming off 2 wins, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. He might be the same, but he's got 2 wins, 1 loss in the UFC as well. So will Daniel Santos be ready? Okay, for a short notice fight. These Brazilian guys tend to show up for these short notice fights. But, I don't know, I like Jiang Yong Lee. Even before Daniel Santos came into this, I was backing Jiang Yong Lee, okay? I think Daniel Santos could be crafty enough to get a win late here. But it's just, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of these short notice fights, alright? And I'm still going to ride with Jiang Yong Lee over Daniel Santos. I just think it's a little bit late for Daniel Santos to come in here and get a convincing win over Jiang Yong Lee, guys. So, these South Koreans, man, they're coming up. I'm going to take, Jiang Yong Lee there. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. Guys, this is, every UFC card's got to have an old head fight on it, right? Got to get the geriatrics out of the retirement village, and we've got to bring them into the UFC, and we've got to get them to throw hands, all right? And this is just the next installment in it. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva, all right? I just want to start off by saying, everyone knows Bruno Silva's the fighter's fighter. Right? Bruno Silva fights. Bruno Silva is always in tooth and nail. Just scrap him out. paper-thin decisions, all right? Oh, a lot of people tend to forget Bruno Silva took Alex Pereira to a decision. Yeah, he was beating the brakes off him in the later rounds. Bruno Silva's got a granite chin and a never say die attitude, all right? And that's why I'm backing Bruno Silva in this fight, all right? I don't even have to do a deep dive in the weeds on this. Marc-Andre Barriault, he's a bit of a fighter's fighter himself, but he loses fights, all right? He has a terrible track record of recent, okay? But that's not at fault of him. It's who he's been fighting, Not saying Chris Curtis is world champion level fighter, but right, it's still a difficult fight. Joe Pyfer. I'm sure there's some few more names in there. That's just some of the ones I can remember. They're the memorable Andre Barriault fights, right? I'm pretty sure he recently lost to a bit of an up-and-coming prospect, so... Bruno Silva's a good fight for if Marc-Andre Barriault wants to get back in the win column, okay? Wants to solidify himself as a stepping stone, all right? Sometimes you got to win these fights to become a stepping stone. And maybe that's why I should be taking Marc-Andre Barriault. But I'm not, all right? I'm going with Bruno Silva on this one. I just like Bruno Silva as a fighter's fighter. As a dog, have a lot more heart, get in there. If it goes to the later rounds, Bruno Silva. All right? A bit more well-rounded, a bit more of a dog, a lot more heart. It's fine field insights we pick off heart. Onto the prelims. Light heavyweight belt, Navajo Sterling's New Zealand's own Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Erslan. Okay? I'm not even going to think too much into this. I probably should, okay? Ivan Erslan has one fight in the UFC. I'm pretty sure it was a loss coming to the man fighting above him, Ion Cutelaba. But I like Navajo Sterling in this, okay? His debut fight. For all of you, I'll give you the inside scoop, okay? I've been behind the scenes in the Navajo Sterling fight camp for a while, alright? I've been following Navajo Sterling for a little bit, okay? Now, he's in Anzac. He's from the neighbouring country of New Zealand, okay? So I tend to follow these guys, right? Coming out of City Kickboxing. Eugene Berriman. Heard of him. I tend to follow these guys, alright? And I've been, I've been just sitting in the background of these Navajo Sterling fights, alright? The regional bouts, okay? And when I seen him on the Dana White Contender Series, he looked good, right? He looked really good. And I'm pretty sure this is his debut fight in the UFC. So it's going to be a big one, right? You got to expect Eugene Berriman to be there in his corner. Eugene Berriman's having a pretty, up and down year. So I like Navajo Sterling in this fight, guys. I think he's a prospect. I think he adds just a little bit extra to that light heavyweight division. He's going to jump up there and maybe join Carlos Olberg, his training partner. But no, I like Navajo Sterling to win this probably by a finish. Probably by a big statement-making debut finish. Oh! But, I don't know, maybe Ivan Erslan is just going to KO kill my boy, so don't know. But hopefully Navajo Sterling gets that one done, guys. Modestas Bukauskas versus Ion Cutelaba. Cutelaba? This is a cool fight. Cutelaba's sort of come into his... a back part of his career. I think he's on a 2-fight win streak against that big Turkish dude, I'm pretty sure. Forgive me, I can't think of the name off the top of my head. I have terrible memory. But I'm pretty sure he submitted him or he knocked him out, one of the two. Finished an up and coming prospect who was looking good, right? Who was looking good. Yeah, I like Cutelaba in this fight. Okay, I do. I'm not saying I pick him. I'm not saying I'm picking him, but I like him in this fight. Either way this goes, I think if Modestas Bukauskas wants to beat this crafty vet, Ion Cutelaba, he's got to kind of not weigh into the fight style that Cutelaba wants, because that's how he won his last fight, right? I've got to think of this guy's name, because it was a honestly shocking result. I did not think Cutelaba was going to win that fight. Alassane. Yeah, Alassane. That was his last fight, and then he also beat Erslan. Oh, look at this. He's beaten the lines. So, Mateus Bukauskas actually has a bit of an advantage here because his last name doesn't end in Slan. No. But I'm serious. That Alassane fight, they were just in the pocket, just trying to knock each other out. 100 men versus one gorilla type fighting. Right? Just tucking the chin and just throwing. Okay? And if that's the kind of fight you're going to go out there and fight, you can expect an old head, a crafty vet like Ian Couture to knock you out. Okay? Because that's the fights he's training for. While you're training to knock guys out, Couture knocking. He's training to get into firefights and knock people out. Okay? So Mateusz Bukauskas, if he wants to win this, he can't weigh into that crazy pocket fighting, overhands, looping shovel, uppercuts. He's got to stay on the back foot, man. Win the outside foot battle. Pepper the jab. Okay? Look for the body. Shoot a few takedowns, mix in the grappling, and that's how he wins this fight. So I'm going to take Mateusz Bukauskas in this one. All right? I'm taking the younger dog. I keep betting against Couture. He keeps winning, okay? But I'm fairly certain Mateusz Bukauskas has what it takes to win this one, guys. So up next, Jessica Andrade versus Jasmine Jasudavix. I'm sure this is going to be a really good one, guys. Jessica Andrade. I'm pretty sure she's just going to get it done with a big knockout. I actually don't have much to say about this one. Number 7 versus number 9. I mean, Jasmine probably gets this one done. I'm pretty sure this is in Canada. So if it's in Canada, you got to think. Yeah, it's in Montreal, so you got to think the Canadians probably going to get up for this one. And Jessica Andrade is at the end of her career. I'm going to go Jasmine probably win this one. Mike Malott versus Charles Radtke. This is a good fight. This is Canada versus the United States. This is Charles Radtke versus Mike Malott. Okay, Mike Malott, famously known for having a little bit of steam behind him, having distant whispers of prospect, and then getting having a real good performance against Neil Magny, and then getting finished in the 3rd round by ground and pound. Not a great look. Not a great look, but I think that was less of him being a bad fighter, more of him being ill-disciplined, not knowing what times to, use your energy, and he probably got a little cocky, okay? He probably thought, I had the fight won, and then you just don't do that against crafty vet Neil Magny. You don't. You only do that when you know you're going to finish him in the first 2. So Mike Malott, I still think is good, and I'm not sure who he fought in his last fight, but he won that last fight, and he won it quite convincingly, okay? So I like Mike Malott to win this one, guys. I don't want to breeze too quickly over Charles Radtke, man, but I think Mike Malott might just be a little bit of the better fighter. A little bit of the better fighter. Okay. Doesn't even look like Charles Radtke has stats. So 10-4 to 11-2. I mean, I could be completely wrong here, but I think Mike Malott is actually a really great fighter. I'm not even picking off of stats or, previous wins. I'm just looking at the fact that Mike Malott, I actually do think Mike Malott's really good. And that Neil Magny fight was more of ill-discipline, less of him being a bad fighter, okay? I think he just wasn't smart enough to know. He just lacked the fight IQ to be like, I probably shouldn't do this. Okay, Mike Malott. I like Mike Malott doing this one, guys. Up next, we're on the main card now. Benoit Saint Denis versus Joel Alvarez. Number 13 next number 15. Benoit Saint Denis' most recent performance was a vicious mauling, humping against Money Moicano. If you're getting badly mauled and humped by Money Moicano, it doesn't look good. There, one or two things is there, right? That you got to think about. And I'm not taking away from Money Moicano, because Money Moicano, okay, he's proven he's a great fighter. Right, but one of two things is happening. You're either not settled into your mojo, okay? You're either having trouble outside of the cage, or you just do suck. Because I'm not trying to take away from Money Moicano's win. Yeah, it was a nice dominant win, but Money Moicano's never won like that. Okay, Money Moicano has never just dominated someone like that. And so if you want to be in that top 15, and you want to beat the Money Moicanos, you've got to at least have like a close first round. Closest second round. You can't just be getting mauled in the first. Just mauled. Split open, bleeding everywhere. So, and then the fight before that, he gets knocked out by Dustin Poirier. So maybe they rushed this guy a little bit too much. Maybe they're probably seeing a little bit too much in the Benoit Saint Denis. But that's why I'm probably looking towards Joel Alvarez to probably finish Saint Denis. I know there's a lot of probablys in there, but I think Joel Alvarez, from what I've seen from Joel Alvarez, he looks good. He looks good. Okay, so once again, there's one or two things is going to happen here. Joel Alvarez is either going to finish this fight and beat Benoit Saint Denis, or Benoit Saint Denis has tweaked all them little things that was giving him trouble. He's gone back to the basics, and he's going to fight a fighter's fight. There are our two options. Benoit Saint Denis has patched up his game. He's going to come in here, he's going to fight a fighter's fight, or Joel Alvarez is going to finish him. All right? This is a really good fight to open up the main card. All right? I like Joel Alvarez to win. It's just a matter of, is Benoit Saint Denis' game repaired? Is he ready to fight these big fights, these top 15 fights? Or does he need to send himself back down to the unranked status? So yeah, give me Joel Alvarez by finish. Right? This could be a bit of a risky pick. And look, I won't be surprised. I will wear the criticism if Benoit Saint Denis gets a win. Okay, but I'm looking at Joel Alvarez here. Up next, Alexa Grasso versus Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva, number 5. Alexa Grasso, number 1. Alexa Grasso looking to get a title shot again, all right? These are two women's fights on the main card. It's hard, all right? It is hard. But it just means a few drink breaks. I'm not a huge Alexa Grasso fan. I think her fight style is very boring. As far as women fighters go, I don't enjoy watching her fight. All right, we had to sit through too many of her versus Shevchenko, so I don't want to see that ever again. So I'm begging Natalia Silva to please win this fight. Please win this fight. I don't even want to look into stats or anything. I don't want to look who's going to win. Oh, who's the better fighter? Okay, because Alexa Grasso is probably the better fighter. We know Alexa Grasso's got a good team behind her, good camp. She's a previous champ. She's fought. This is her first 3-round fight she's had in maybe a decade. I don't know. I don't know. And Natalia Silva, please do not let this woman back into a title picture. I cannot see Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso again. The only way I want Alexa Grasso to win is if Manon Fiorot beats Valentina Shevchenko. That's the only way I want Alexa Grasso to win. I almost said Alexander Volkanovski. So, no, please, Natalia Silva, please win this fight. Up next, Jose Aldo versus Aiemann Zahabi. I'm gonna take Aiemann Zahabi on this one. Jose Aldo is a legend. He's a great. I think he's already a Hall of Famer. Okay, he's gonna go down as one of the best fighters of all time, if not the best fighter. Some people, he is still the consensus featherweight GOAT for some. Okay, for some. But no, I think it's just an age thing. You can only be... And don't get me wrong, all the fights that Jose Aldo has recently fought in, he still looked good. He still looked like a fighter. And he still looks like he can win these fights. Like he's coming off a win and a loss. Right? He's coming off a loss, but before that was a win and a good one. Okay, so... But I think Aiemann Zahabi, he's in the top 15 for a reason. Okay, he got there for a reason. And I think... If he's just got to, maybe fight Jose Aldo like a bit of Mario Batista to win, I think he's probably going to do it. No, I hope not. I hope we don't see another Mario Batista in here. That was brutal. I'd love to see the King of Rio get a win. I'd love it. Okay? But he's far from home, and he's fighting the countryman, Aiemann Zahabi. And, I just don't see it going well for Jose Aldo, man. I don't see it going well. I think time is his enemy here. I think he's probably just holding on to whatever he can, hanging around the company and that. But come on, I picked the younger guys here. I picked the younger guys, and I'm going to take Aiemann Zahabi, man, probably to finish Jose Aldo. And Jose Aldo might finally take the gloves off and sit him down in the center of the octagon. Regardless, okay. Jose Aldo's the favorite here, so yeah, Aiemann Zahabi. Might get it done, might not. Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. Yeah, this is a cool fight. This is number 2 women's flyweight versus the champ. Same goes for what I said in the Alexa Grasso thing. I just hope Manon Fiorot wins, because I'm sick of seeing Valentina Shevchenko with a belt. I'm sick of seeing her fighting for belts. Okay. And Manon Fiorot is actually the favourite here, which could give you a decent payout on a Valentina Shevchenko, just from a betting standpoint, right? I'm always looking at the odds. But no, I'm going to go with Manon Fiorot. It's a shame there's so many women's fighting this main card. I'm not anti-woman, alright? But 2 in the main card, you could have easily slipped Alexa Grasso down to the prelims and brought up a Mike Malott, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's still going to be interesting fights. There's still going to be, it's still being alright, but I think I'm just a little bit overseeing Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso on main cards. So it's more of that, less of women's fights. But yeah, I hope Manon Fiorot wins this. So yeah. On to the bread and butter. On to the bread and the butter. It's Belal Muhammad. It's Jack Della. It's Belal Muhammad. And it's JDM, right? It's Australia versus Palestine, but yeah, it's America. Chicago. It's for the belt. It's for the welterweight belt. Yes! Belal Muhammad's finally fighting. Yes! Bro, wins the belt. Just doesn't defend. Oh, I'm injured. I can't fight Shafkat. I'm injured. Dump Leon on his bald spot. Jack Della Maddalena. Please, bro. Please win this fight. No. This is terrible analysis into this fight. Let's look into it. Let's jump into the weeds, shall we? Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena. It's a title shot for Australia again, man. Look, I'm happy that Volk won the belt, okay? So I think I'd be asking for too much if I asked that the UFC, the MMA gods, let Jack Della Maddalena win this belt, okay? Because at the end of the day, I think Belal Muhammad is really good, okay? I think he's one of the best fighters that we've seen in a long time. And, you got to swallow your pride a little bit when you say that, because it's fun to hate Belal Muhammad because how pooey his style is. He's got a poo style, right? He rarely finishes fights, except for my boy Sean Brady. But Sean Brady had COVID. If you guys didn't know, all right, now I have a platform to really put this out there. Sean Brady had COVID, sorry. He probably did have staph as well. But no, he had COVID. That's on the record. He had COVID, right? He was on an IV drip, right? He had like a respirator on. That's how bad he had COVID, right? Belal Muhammad got to beat up a Victorian child, Sean Brady, and that's his only finish in the last decade. Belal Muhammad, no, he is a great fighter, okay, and he deserved to be the champ. He took the belt off Leon. He didn't just fluky win it. He took the belt off Leon, okay. So he does deserve to be the champ. I just, I hope if he beats Jack Della Maddalena here, he gets a little bit more active, because I'm sick of just there being this welterweight belt that just never gets fought for. Because Belal Muhammad's just like, oh, come on, man. Leon didn't give me my shot. No, Leon didn't give me my shot. Now I'm just going to hold the belt. So yeah, look at the areas where Belal Muhammad's going to strive in. Belal Muhammad, he's going to strive in the grappling. Okay, he's probably going to wrestle fuck the shit out of Jack Della Maddalena. But JDM has good takedown defense in a sense, right? It's not the conventional sprawl and brawl. It's like he'll get taken down and he'll like wriggle and banana prawn his way back to his feet and land a knee. Oh! So yeah, Belal Muhammad's got the grappling advantage. Jack Della Maddalena, as much as Belal wants to think that he has the striking advantage, okay, that's just Belal trolling. Jack Della Maddalena actually has some of the best boxing I've ever seen in MMA. It's so crisp. It's just so fun to watch. Just when he gets going, it's fun to watch. Yeah, Jack Della Maddalena has the striking advantage. Belal has the grappling advantage. I think Belal probably has the gas, the cardio advantage. It's just down to Jack Della Maddalena, what he can do. I think this is gonna, honestly, guys, this is not gonna necessarily be a skill for skill fight. This is gonna be a heart fight. So it comes down to, if Jack Della Maddalena comes in there and he wants to win that belt, he'll win it. But if Jack comes in with a shitty attitude and he doesn't get active when he needs to get active, he'll lose. Because I think if Jack Della can push the pace at the right times, he will catch Belal Muhammad lacking. Because you can catch Belal, you just got to push the pace. Like, Leon's issue was Leon just pooey. He just looked poo, okay? He wasn't pressing the pace when he needed to. He sat on the back foot, wasn't getting active with his striking, okay? And then in that last round, oh, here comes Leon Edwards walking him down. If Jack Della Maddalena can do that in rounds 1, 2, and 3, just get active. Not gas yourself, but get active. He's got a shot at winning the belt. Alright? And the thing is, guys, the closer we get to this fight, when it got announced way back when, I was like, this is just a layup for Belal. This is a layup for Belal to fight Shavkat or to fight, Islam. People are actually talking that. But yeah, this is a layup fight. But the closer we get, the more I think about it, I'm like, Jack Della Maddalena could win this. He could very well win this. So I don't know. I'm going to pick Jack Della Maddalena because he's my countryman, alright? And whenever I've got a countryman fighting on a card, I've got to ride with him, okay? I'm not going to be some dog and pick Belal Muhammad just because he's, on paper, the champion, the better fighter. I'm taking Jack Della Maddalena here, baby. I'm riding with my countryman, okay? Because, like, let's look. Yeah, we've looked at a little bit of Belal Muhammad's stuff, cardio, right? The grappling, the record, the belt, okay? The big wins, the big name wins. Well, let's look what Jack Della Maddalena's got. He's got the striking, okay? And he's got the Australian spirit, right? I don't want to dive too deep into that, but he's got the Australian spirit. He's got the heart, the goal to never say die, right? He's got the Anzac spirit in him. just like the soldiers of Gallipoli. All he's got to do is just dig his heels in and just say no. I'm not going to be bullied by the bully, all right? Jack Della Maddalena has just got to dig his heels in and fight with that a bit of Australian spirit, that Australian heart, all right? Because he's got the whole country backing him. So JDM, man, fight with a little bit of heart, and you want to win this fight. Yeah, I'm taking Jack Della Maddalena in this one, guys. It's a heart pick. That's what we do here at Fight Field Insights. We don't pick off of how good you are. We pick off of heart and who I think is going to win. And if Jack Della shows up with enough of it, he's going to get this. He's going to get this fight done. So JDM, please, mate, you got all of Australia backing you, and you've got Fight Field Insights in your corner. So, yeah, that's it, guys. That's all of the fights on the UFC 315 card. I can't believe we're already at UFC 315. This year is flying by. Next up is Marab. Like, the next big one's Marab, Sean O'Malley. So, yeah, this... If you're not excited for this, come on, guys. Come on, what are we talking about? I'll just skim over the Sandhagen card really quick before I put this one to bed. Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo. Sandhagen gets the win. Due to Davison Figueiredo having a knee injury or something. Old man knees, Davison Figueiredo's got them 37-year-old knees. And then, which I think is what we picked. I'm pretty sure we picked a Sandhagen in that. And then Reynard de Ridder, who I think I also picked. No, I don't think I picked him. I'm not sure. I think I jokingly picked him. But Reynard de Ridder gets a TKO win over Bo Nickel. Knee to the liver. So, thanks for coming, Bo. Yeah, there was a few other fights on the cards. Montel Jackson beat Daniel Marcos. Can't even think of the others. Ponzinibbio had a pretty vicious knockout. All right, we did back a Ponzinibbio, but Daniel Rodriguez knocked him out. So, yeah. No, that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys are pumped up for this card, because I'm pumped up for this card. We got another Australian in the hot seat. Navajo Sterling's hopefully going to get his first win in the UFC. Bekzat Al-Makan. I don't know. It's going to be a great card. It's honestly going to be a great card. The fights I'm looking out for most is Benoit Saint Denis and Joel Alvarez, and the main fight, and Navajo Sterling, of course. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video, in the next episode of Fight IQ.